TT, but me personally, I actually haven't seen these two play, and I think Mewtwo versus Snake is going to be a wildly interesting matchup. There's a lot of, obviously Snake has his own shenanigans, he's got all sorts of crazy setups going on, but Mewtwo is someone we don't see a whole lot of, and he's got a little bit of reflector action going on.
I mean, it was either this or Unknown's Ices.
I don't think.
I think Mewtwo is the correct choice here, since Snake definitely knows how to separate the Ices.
Yeah, I think on top of that, also the Ices being one of the slower characters in the game, it's just not something you want to deal with. It's already difficult enough to get through the wall that Snake can put up, and it does not sound fun. And Unknown in his own right is a fantastic Ices player, but it's obviously too much here because he's going to Mewtwo. And it's working out pretty well so far.
He's got a pretty good Mewtwo.
Yeah, he's been playing Mewtwo since the Smash 4 days. And even now that Mewtwo is a hollow shell of his old self, he is still making Mewtwo look fantastic in this game. Ksev, however.
Yeah, closing out the first stock there on Player Unknown.
Yep. Showing us how fantastic up tilt is.
Just Snake things.
Yep. It's a good move. Use it. This happens. Oh my god, I saw that up air coming from a mile away. That would have been devastating if it hit.
Oh my.
The floaty jump of Mewtwo sabotaging in there.
Yeah, no, Ksev has a 2-stock lead. Nope, never mind.
You lied.
I take it back. I lied. I'm sorry.
Pretty standard neutral stuff here. I think another devastating set of this matchup, I actually only know this because I play Mii Gunner against Snake, and the Shadow Ball getting stuffed out by grenades just being there sounds really, really annoying for Mewtwo. And so if it's not any of the charges, small, midway, any of those, they just disappear under the grenades. Pretty sad, but clearly Player Unknown could work around it. So, oh my god.
Oh, nice.
That parry animation was the slowest one I've ever seen. He just stood in the little animation for so long.
He got Ksev with his own missile.
There you go. That was one of the first things we talked about, was the reflectors and what he can do with it. And Player Unknown showing us exactly what can be done.
They're both brains. It's a brain fight-off right now.
A little bit of a team kill, but probably better for them, so they can get a little deeper in the bracket, because they get the money if they all make it to a certain threshold, if I'm not mistaken. So this is good for them, not so good for others, and also we're missing one of the Frontier Brains. Daybreak wasn't able to make it out due to inclement weather. Reflector to forward air. Some good
oh! I thought he was going to get him with the up smash, but Ksev was literally just like went right past him, was able to get the up tilt.
You said your up smash? Yeah, I'm just, that doesn't faze me at all. I'm going to float right through it.
Well, because I think the little animation is bigger than the actual hitbox, so it looked like he literally like floated like past it.
Yeah, yep. And the animation kind of lingers there a little bit after the hitbox too. So even though there's a little cloud, a diminishing cloud there, there's no hitbox as it's dissipating.
All those kinds of things break my heart. I'm a Lucario main, so that happens fairly often in my life, and I'm just like, you hate to see it.
Yep, I also have a little bit of a Corrin. A lot of her hitboxes aren't quite matching what the thing looks like.
They're liars.
Yep, absolutely. There's a lot of characters like that in the game, and I think marks of a really, really good player will know exactly what the hitboxes actually are. And although that can seem frustrating to a lot of new players trying to get into Smash, and it's easy to just say, oh, that's dumb, but, you know, better player wins, right?
Better player wins. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah, there you go. Ooh, that forward air was scary. Fairing off the ledge, floatiness, getting him above Ksev. But both players resetting neutral here. These reflecting shots are pretty interesting because they don't detonate the grenades by any means, and they don't do... Ooh, that was... I would have popped off. I would have went bonkers.
If the up smash hit,
yeah,
that would have been...
I was ready. I was ready to go nuts. But yeah, the reflectors on the grenades are pretty interesting because they kind of just toss them back and they don't...
Yep.
Ooh, okay. I like that. The disjoint making it so it doesn't detonate the grenade, and he gets a kill off that.
And also just catching Snake in the air, because that's usually where Snake is at his weakest, in my opinion, is just being in the air.
Absolutely. All right, evening it up the stocks here. And also, I mentioned, you know, reflecting the grenades and getting the damage hitbox, but also Unknown is just fantastic at just catching the grenades and using them against Snake. And I think that's the marks of how someone who's very, very good at the matchup and has a lot of experience is when you can take Snake's item game and use it against him. Ooh, I think he was hoping to reflect the up smash with the lingering reflect hitbox, but didn't quite find it.
Oh, up tilt.
That up tilt hurts.
Not yet, though.
That is a big ouchie move. Ooh, that C4 detonation was interesting. I like that. He had a decently low shield, and he put on some extra pressure.
Oh, hello.
And that one is going to do a little more than pressure. It's going to take stock. So we're looking at a pretty big deficit here for player unknown.
I mean, he brought it back a little bit first game, so I definitely think he can still do it.
And yeah, he just racked up like 70% in the last 10 seconds here. So close out the stock. Shadow Ball not going to do it. He's got an edge guard opportunity. Ooh, goes for the dash grab, but rolls behind it. This is scary. Scary position for... Oh, and the F tilt covering the spot dodge. Player Unknown is making a lot of good decisions, and he's doing a lot of things right, but they're just barely not connecting. The precision...
Oh, I thought that up tilt was actually going to take it out.
Yeah, got the... Ooh, hello?
Oh, okay.
Says, what you doing up here, Snake? Gonna slap him in the mouth. But the precision from Unknown is good, but it's not enough. And it's very, very heartbreaking to see how this lasts.
Oh,
man.
no.
Ksev.
Right over it.
Ksev gonna take it. You can tell player Unknown is not really disappointed. You can tell he's like, yeah, that's how it is.
I mean, it can be, especially against Snake players, just because, like, when they have like advantage and they're building that wall and setting their traps, at some point, if they are really good and they just set down a C4 and they just let it sit there for, it's gonna like escape your mind, and eventually you're just gonna go right over it, and it's gonna be like a gotcha moment.
And that's how it's been playing out. You can't get discouraged though. I think discouraged is probably the word I'm looking for. And so if player Unknown buckled down, strap up its boots one last time for this game 3, maybe it won't be his last time. Maybe we can see a game 4 or 5. Back on Smashville. Ow! Oh my god, 21%. Because Mewtwo is a tall boy.
Yeah, also Unknown, I feel like a lot of the times in these matches he's playing more of a defense than an offense, because right out the door, Ksev is already throwing a bajillion things into his face, already saying, like, if you want to approach me, you have to definitely go through some hoops to get here.
Ooh, that C4 in the grab. Catching that air dodge away, trying to avoid the shenanigans that... Ooh, the roll behind grab. That would have been the Wi-Fi special. Oh, okay, that back air, the rising back air, the floatiness of Mewtwo's double jump can be used in a lot of unique ways, and player Unknown is showing us exactly what can be done with it. I like it, big fan. Oh, okay.
Oh, but Ksev gets the grab.
Up throw into imagination, not quite finding it. Ooh, lots of parries from Ksev. Ksev, and that's how you know someone is good F tilt, grabbing that. But that's how you know someone is a true F tilt or veteran. Sorry, is when someone is good at using Snake's projectiles and shenanigans against him, and Ksev can still return the favor and has a plan for something that you don't see very often. This man's been playing this game for a long time, and he's here in winner's quarters for a reason. So we'll see if he can close this out. Sizable lead here against Unknown. Oh my god, that is so heartbreaking.
See, what's interesting too is before player Unknown lost his first stock, when they were just kind of like looking at each other and throwing things back and forth, I really kind of appreciate players Unknown's like patience right there, like when he was just like letting Ksev throw a grenade and he was just kind of waiting to reflect it and then inched forward and then just did that for a couple minutes before really going in.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Ksev did catch him, but it was looking really good, and I was like, maybe if he just keeps doing that.
It's the closest he's seen to the light at the end of the tunnel for sure. And that kind of patience, you know, really shows how this can be a game of inches. So you're absolutely right. Oh, man. And that time he tried to go for an approach. He dashed a little too far. Whew, that's so much damage.
Ksev literally is not short of any sort of armory, just literally unloading his whole stock.
Ksev taking the 3-0 there here at Battle Frontier #2. Shout out to Casey's birthday bash. I don't know who Casey is.
Is he still here? He's over there. By like
He's just a guy, and it's his birthday.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Happy
birthday,
I believe
Casey.
he also got us this menu, right?
Oh.
Like the hookup for this menu, Casey.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why he's special.
I love Casey. I love this venue. So in turn, Casey is my best friend. Happy birthday.
That man over there that just walked past you guys, the one that just played Mewtwo. He loses. He looks back over at me and he's like, I just noticed I don't have headphones on.
What? You didn't have headphones on for that set?
He didn't have the headphones on.
You kind of
And
need those
apparently
against
it took the
Snake.
whole set for him to be like, oh, I don't have headphones on versus Snake.
If there's any matchup in the entire game of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for the Nintendo Switch that you would like some headphones, Snake is